In July 2011, the oil tanker named Brillante Virtuoso was drifting through the treacherous Gulf of Aden when a crew of pirates attacked the vessel and set her ablaze. But when David Market, a maritime surveyor working for the ship's insurer, Lloyd's of London, inspected the damaged vessel, he was left with more questions than answers. Soon after he started the investigation, Market was killed by a car bomb. This is the story of Dead in the Water, Murder and Fraud in the World's Most Secretive Industry, written by Matthew Campbell and Kit Chillill. Let's get into it. The book opens by establishing the essentiality of maritime shipping and how the world's greatest cities were once defined by their ports, yet faded like it wasn't even there. It is into this hidden world that the authors plunge. Bear in mind that they were warned that writing this could be putting their lives at risk. Now, into the story. First off, the Brillante, holding approximately $100 million worth of oil, allegedly gets hijacked and destroyed by pirates in the Gulf of Aden on her way from China to Ukraine. For the era, this was a common occurrence, with the Gulf being plagued by Somali pirates. The insurance company holding the tanker's liability, Lloyd's, has one of their maritime surveyors in Yemen, where the Gulf of Aden is located, sent to investigate. Thus, David Market went, and instantly found numerous anomalies that did not match, including how the ship wasn't ransomed and instead destroyed, how the so-called experienced crew led the pirates on so easily, and how it was allegedly shot with an RPG, but the damage did not match one of an explosion. He grows suspicious, suspects it was an attempt of insurance fraud, reports it to his peers, says it is confusing to the media, and goes home to research more. But on his way for lunch, a bomb planted under his car detonates, killing him, and David was a known figure in Yemen at this time, so this clearly ended the Yemeni. A pair of ex-London detectives turned private investigators hired by Lloyd's spent years pursuing the case across multiple continents. They worked in fits and started with contacts in Yemen, the Philippines, Greece, and the UK, conducting a worldwide search for witnesses and informants. One of the investigators, Richard Veal, initiated Project Tundra to try and break the case down. British police, whose own investigation was classified, advised them to stand down. Potential witnesses and their families were threatened with their lives, and multiple alleged assassination attempts toward investigators were carried out but failed. But the reality was something so much more calculated. A British High Court ultimately found that the fake attack was orchestrated by the vessel's beneficial owner, Marios Iliopoulos, a Greek shipping magnate experiencing significant financial difficulties at the time. Tellingly, 2 years earlier, another tanker he owned, the Eli, had run aground off Yemen under similar suspicious circumstances. The chief engineer of the Eli later became the chief engineer of the Brillante Virtuoso, and the same two salvage firms were involved in both incidents. Adding to the deception, the attackers were later found not to be Somali pirates at all, but Yemenis posing as them. Pretty damning evidence if you ask me. And so was it to the court. But unfortunately, as of 2026, Leopoulos has not faced criminal prosecution. The book ends with a reckoning, showing how many fraudulent activities in the maritime industry continue, with many cases left uninvestigated due to the complexities of legal and insurance frameworks, especially with the case of Iliopoulos. This was a great read. When you start reading, you start to resonate with characters and you really understand them, even with the complexity of the entities and characters. It really tells you about the world as a whole, the greed in prioritizing cheaper goods and labor, exploiting tax havens, and the book shows you not just about the state of maritime shipping, but the economy, people, and the world as a whole. It's extremely understandable how it won True Crimes Award Book of the Year, was shortlisted for Financial Times Business Book of the Year, and was named one of the books of the year by the Financial Times, the Times, and the Economist. Fully deserved, in my opinion. And if you're wondering, I'm Xavier Yuanji. I come from SAK Kabong Baru, whose school code is WEA2028, and this was my presentation.